Man, that is an ominous countdown. I'm gonna have to find something that's just a little bit more energetic. But I figured I should start doing that because of the way that we simulcast. So welcome everybody to the Algo Factory Beginner Live Lab. V the Gorilla is having a personal issue. I don't think it's a big deal, or I don't want to say I don't think it's bad. What I mean to say is everything should be fine. But he definitely needs to take some time. So, but don't worry too much. The gorilla is, it's nothing he can't handle. So for now, the cowboy is going to roll solo today. I know we had the drips scheduled for today for the private live lab. So for those of you who are maybe new to this YouTube channel, this is the free to the public daily beginner live lab. And so what we do at Algo Factory is we help people who want to become traders. We help them become traders. Or if you are already a trader of any ilk, then we help you improve your game. And we put you on the road to developing your own trading algorithm that you can, if you want to, code that to trade for you. Just, you can turn it on, walk away, and it makes you money. That's not as easy as it sounds. It actually takes a fair amount of work. And but that's anything worthwhile does. You're not going to find something where you just start making money out of nowhere. It's going to take some effort and some learning. And anybody that tells you otherwise does not know what they're talking about. Don't trust them. But for the moment, if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and click that whole like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. If you're watching this after the fact, then put some comments up there in YouTube. It helps us out with the algos. I'm sure you've heard everybody say that before. Looks like we got a couple of people in the house watching. I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to spread the link. Give me just a second. Let's see. It's review on you. I don't want to view on YouTube. Let's see. Copy a link. I'm going to throw this over onto the Rogue Discord. And for those of you who are Rogue fans, Velas and I will be handling the shows the next day or two. So the show will go on. So, rest easy. Okay. So give me just one moment. Everyone join us live. Okay, links sent. So I was having a conversation this morning on our private Telegram group. And just so you know, in Telegram, we have people around the world. And I am often, up pretty late trading, trading, say, the Australian/Asian Open, the Sydney Open, or you could call it the Singapore Open, whatever that might be. It's pretty often that I'm trading it at what you could say are all hours. And I'm in the Discord, the Telegram quite often. So people ask me questions and, I might be just up at 3 a.m. I can answer those. At any rate, we'll get your questions answered if you are part of Algo Factory. And we have a great community, people around the world of different levels of experience. And your questions can get answered either by myself or by someone else in there. The community helps out. So, but this question actually came from Brad, who's really taken this on. And, he's really getting into this thing pretty deep. And I've talked to him in the background. He does have kind of a spectrum of talents when it comes to, algorithms and things like that. And there's Brad as we speak. We talked about market open, and we talked about kind of the ebb and flow of markets. So basically, when you're trading, one of the things you're going to want to have is volatility most of the time. Now, you do have some traders who are they're making money without as much volatility, but if you have like no volatility, there's no price movement, and we need price movement to be profitable in trading. That's where the money comes from. So one thing that we do is, we look at the market opens. We look at when the market is opening, when the market is closing, those kinds of things. And then we plan our trades around those sessions. Especially the New York Open seems to have a lot of volatility. So let me go ahead and bring up the screen so you guys and gals can see what I'm doing. And coincidentally, you'll be able to see a Bitcoin trade that I took live this morning. Just a quick scalp, nothing too, nothing too fancy. Give me a moment just to get this ready for everybody's ability to see. And here we go. Okay, so you're looking at a Bitcoin trade. It's a scalp. I mean, you can call it a day trade. It's a little more than a scalp because this might take several hours to play out. But it's just Bitcoin right now is on a hard uptrend, and you're just even on a higher time frame and a lower time frame. What you're seeing are a lot of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so this is just kind of a freebie. Now, we don't give investment advice at Algo Factory or anywhere else, so understand that we're just showing you what we're doing for educational purposes. So if you're going to take a trade, then it's got to be based on your own research, and if your own research happens to come up with a similar result to my research, then there's a decent chance you're going to end up in a similar trade to me. So that's how that works. Let's see here. So I'm going to go ahead and use a different chart so we can start talking about the opens, the market opens, the market sessions, and the way that volatility works. Okay, so I'm going to bring up a Forex chart. Looks like it wants me to add to my Bitcoin long. Let me take a look at my algo and see if that's a good idea. Give me a second. I just had an alert pop off because I was going to add to my Bitcoin long. Not yet, but I think it's coming. I think it's coming here. So let me create a new alert. Okay. Back to the matter at hand. Let's see here. Is this a good chart to mess with? Yeah, sure. Use this chart. And I'm going to roll up to, let's see, I think the way to do this might be the 30-minute chart. Yeah, we'll go 30-minute. So you're looking at a chart right now, and it goes back about a week. And each one of these candles that you're looking at is a 30-minute candle, okay? And what we're going to do is I'm going to use to talk about, like I said, we're about to discuss like market opens, how to possibly trade them or consider trading them, right? So one of the ways to do this is to map out the opens. And there are indicators on TradingView that will allow us to do that. I'm going to say market open. Let's see if that Forex market open. Okay. I'm just picking one at random. There are some indicators that I have used in the past that really like traders reality, and we've talked about it on this show before. But the Forex market open, this is not showing anything. So I think this indicator might not be working. So let's try another one. And if I don't find a good one in 2 tries, then I will in 2 more tries, then I'll go to Traders Reality. So thinking about Traders Reality, it's really good, but it's just a bunch of like, it's a lot of stuff you have to delete. Okay, so this looks pretty good here. All right, so we're on the 30-minute chart. And the indicator that I used is pre and market openings. Okay, so the way you find that. By the way, everybody, I haven't had a lot of sleep, so if I start sputtering, then please don't think I'm an idiot. So I got a pretty young kid, so sometimes you don't get a lot of sleep. All right, so this is pre and market openings. You go up to indicators, type PRE and market openings. There it is by freeN_DD. That's the what do you call it? The developer. It's got about 500 people using it. And the way that this is mapped out, okay, you got New York open, and if you can see it on the screen, there's kind of like a light blue background. And then there's the pre-open that starts at 6:30 EST, which is right about now. So if I go to the current chart, we should be sitting right around that pre-open. It just hasn't populated yet. And then we have the so there's New York pre-open, and then you have this one where the blue becomes a bit lighter. That's the actual open. What is this? What is going on here? This actually does not seem to be right. Let me check Okay. Looks like on this one I actually have to change some settings because right now it's got the pre-open at 8:30 and it needs to be pushed back 2 hours. So let's fix this. Let's try doing this. Oh, no, let's not change that. Where's the New York Daily? Okay, so 13:30. New York Daily, New York Weekly, London Daily. So New York Daily should be at 0730 for me. I'm not messing with these settings right now. We're not going to use the syndicator. I'll just go to Traders Reality. Sorry for the confusion. I didn't have the show planned because this was a question that came up right before the show opened, and I had some things going on. So we're just going to go to Traders Reality. All right. I'm not going to sit there and change all the times and mess with that. I'll just go to Traders Reality, and I'll go to the settings, and I will go to the. I'll take out all the other junk. Not junk, it's good stuff, but I'm going to take out the stuff that we're not going to use. So take out the email clouds. Daily high, daily low, that's good stuff, but it's not pertaining to this discussion. So I am going to go ahead and get rid of it, okay? And let's see, do I need the Brinks open? Not really. Should high, low, daily, weekly labels. Okay, show market sessions. Yes. Let me see. London, yes. New York, yes. Tokyo, yes. Hong Kong, yes. Sydney, yes. Don't need Brinks. Don't need Brinks. It's pretty cool that we have Brinks, but it just doesn't seem like the necessary. And even I'll just go with one Asian Open instead of they have Tokyo, Hong Kong, Sydney. I'll just go with Sydney, because I think that's where most of the volume is going to come from anyway. And it's all pretty much this, very similar. And yet, okay, good. It just took a minute for those settings to take place. And what we're looking at now is this Traders Reality, okay? I'm going to go ahead and copy a link to this so that you all, and this came from a Cool Cat. Cool Cat showed us this indicator. Oh gosh, I think he showed me this years ago. But I'm going to copy and paste the link onto the YouTube chat. And I'll throw it in the Discord too. I think you all probably already have it, but now you have it again. Now, New York session. Yes, the times on this one are right from what I can see. Okay. So you can see it here. New York is mapped out by this box, this red box. Sydney by this green box. London by this this yellow box, right? Honestly, Sydney is not that great of an open. And now that I'm looking at it, I think I would prefer one that's a little farther out. So this is cool. You can change this. Let's find Sydney, take it off, and we'll throw up Tokyo. I know a lot's going to come from Tokyo, maybe even more from Tokyo. We'll see. Take a minute for the settings to change. Give it a moment. Okay. This seems right for my experience, okay? All right, so what happens is that in trading, we get times of consolidation and we get times of expansion, or you can say trend, or you can say breakouts, but it's consolidation and breakouts, and they usually rotate around these market sessions again. So you have New York is red, Tokyo is green, London is, we'll say, London is white, if you will, gray, whatever that is. And then you'll notice that at the opens, you'll find that there is often an expansion, right? So you had a consolidation prior to New York, right in this area, right? And that was actually during London. And then right at the, kind of the London crossover, you had it break out. And this is a good trade to have. Another example right here is just in the past, day or so, you had a big consolidation that was through the New York session, right? Through the rest of the New York session, through the Tokyo, and then at the London Open, it had a breakout, right? If you look through the past here, you'll notice that we had a consolidation that went through the London session. It was kind of a wide consolidation, honestly. Like there could have been some trades in here on a lower time frame. And then there's a kind of a breakout at the through like the middle of the New York session, and then price kind of moved down. So that's not as easy to trade, but a pretty nice one here is that you had the London New York crossover and then the New York Open, and then right at about noon during New York, or maybe towards the middle to the end of the New York session, you had a nice breakout to the downside, and that's a beautiful trade right there. And you could argue that consolidation actually lasted a couple days through 2 New York sessions. But you will see that the consolidations break out timed with the sessions quite often. For example, this was a pretty decent consolidation through the end of a New York session through Sydney, and then right about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, well, actually a few hours into the London Open, right before the New York Open. So like the New York-London crossover right before that. Let's see, the breakout really happened about 3.5 hours into the London Open, and you have a breakout. So what one can do is use a chart like this, the trader's reality, to map out your opens, right? And again, for, I like New York, London, and Tokyo. I think that's the most constructive, just from my experience. I like that Tokyo is a little farther east than, say, Sydney, right? And then, Japan has just a humongous financial industry. There's a lot of finance going on in Japan, so that's going to push markets as well. But what you might find is, if you backtest, it might be Sydney is better. What I have found just by trading Forex for years, and this is going to apply to like all the markets, right? But of course, the stock market opens and closes, so it's not necessarily the same. The crypto market is probably going to apply. Like the Asian Open, I know for a long time was really hot with crypto, but most of the money in trading is going to come from the US, from what I can see. I'm not sure that there's a way to verify that for sure, but that's what it looks like to me. And so the New York Open, the London Open, you'll notice there's a pattern. One of these opens will be good for a while, and then it'll kind of rotate to like, okay, New York's been good for this week or two. And then after a while, it's like, oh no, London's the way to go. And then after, oh no, the Asian Open's actually the way to go. Like you'll notice that there is a sort of a, like it happens for a series of days or weeks where a particular open is good. And you can simply map that out. You can just put that on this chart, put trader's reality up on your chart, look at your consolidations, map it out. It's the way it goes. So this is how I would do it. I would use trader's reality. I would map out my consolidations and breakouts, and I would see what's going on lately, right? So as of now, let me see, you have a New York breakout here. This was on the 6th of November. You have a New York breakout here on the 7th. You have a New York breakout on yesterday. And you even have a small breakout here, but that was London. So for the most part, New York has been where it's at, but London too. Yeah, but New York has been it for, the last several days. And really what you do, I mean, look, mapping this out is fine. What you'll get used to doing is looking at these consolidations, right? And if there's a consolidation that's ripe, well, when the consolidation's ripe, then you can expect a breakout. And if that ripeness occurs as the market opens or closes, then that's when you can expect that breakout. And so what happens in a consolidation being ripe, and this is something that we use a particular indicator in. I'm going to type this indicator in Algo Factory's private lab. I just typed it in the live lab. Okay, so if you're watching this afterwards, you can go back. You'll see that I pasted the link to the trader's reality, and below that I typed that indicator, and I'm going to type indicator with an upward pointing finger, and that way if you're watching this afterwards, let me just edit that one. This is the indicator. We actually covered how to use this in the show last week. And, that's that. All right. So, I mean, this is pretty much the whole lesson right here. Just consolidations, breakouts. And if you're using that indicator, you could be a part of Algo Factory. We'll tell you what it is. We are getting towards the end of the show. So I'm going to go ahead and actually, before I throw up the QR code, I'm going to show you all what's going on with my BTC trade. And it is working out as planned. I got into this trade based on my algos live in front of the whole everybody this morning, and I did it at 7 a.m. EST. And here's Bitcoin headed up. And I actually went ahead and took that trade because we had somebody asking, hey, is it good to short, right now on this time frame? And I took a look and I'm like, no, pretty much everything is bullish right now. So again, one of the reasons that I took this trade, besides the fact that my algo said take this trade, is that you have higher highs, higher lows. And I've been trading Bitcoin since 2017. And at one point, I traded almost nothing but Bitcoin. I spent hours and hours and hours trading nothing but Bitcoin. So I know the beast. And so basically, when you see this kind of a move up, kind of a flag, but it's like pointing up, like a flag that is not straight out but up, what you have is basically what should be a flag, but the market is so bullish, it's actually distorting that flag upwards, right? So you get this, I call it a stairway to heaven, which is what I call it. I've never heard anybody else say that I know of, that I can remember. There's always that chance somebody else said it, and that's why it's in my head, but I call it stairway to heaven. And when you see a move up, consolidation like this, chances are you're going to have price head up in a big way. And I can show you this even on a higher time frame. But in the meantime, the trade's going really well. And I put this trade in our chat. So I put this in. Now, again, I'll put my trades up, and it usually happens a few times a week where I put my trades up, but it's not investment advice. So if you're in Algo Factory and you see me put a trade up, then make sure if you're taking that trade, that's based on your own research. So, I think you can all, read between the lines right there. So, anybody who is doing that kind of research is able to easily pay for their membership. And I do this a few times a week. And I even put up trade plans for like what I might do. Oh, I think the USD JPY might look good in a few hours. I do that all the time. But Cool Cat's in the chat saying, man, he says, goodness gracious, these BTC shorts are getting obliterated. Yes, that's the thing about shorting Bitcoin. I got one buddy, and I'm very much like him. He just simply won't short Bitcoin, ever. And for the most part, I will not either. The only time I will really look at shorts is when the general trend is downward and the move is already in play. So I really don't usually get good risk to reward on my Bitcoin shorts. I wait until the usually with Bitcoin, I'll draw it on the screen, and then we'll end this session here pretty quick. Bitcoin usually operates like this. Like, let me delete this. Let me get out of all this visual mess here. So Bitcoin will have gone up for a while, right? And then it's going to play around, do all kinds of stuff, whatever. And then you're going to start to see that it's ready to go down. And everybody starts to go short, right, at this point. Because everything says Bitcoin's going to go down. And they're right. Most, that's not wrong. It's like, okay, people's test, their algo, their method, whatever they use, says Bitcoin is going to go short. And so they go short. And when they do, the market goes like this most of the time. If not, a lot of the time, it goes like this. Bam, takes them out and then goes down. Right? So even though my algo says to go short, there's a high probability that someone's going to take my short out, because that's just what Bitcoin does. It does it historically. It's known for that. So that's what we have to watch out for with Bitcoin. And that's why I generally do not short it. Now, if I do see one of these, and it's a very, and again, the word I like is precipitous. It's a very hard bull trap. I might short at the top of this. I might take just a nice little short with a little tight stop and try to get a lot of value out of this. But in order to do that, you really generally have to be right in front of the TV or the the TV, right in front of the computer doing that. So shorting Bitcoin is a dangerous game. And if I'm going to do it, I wait for a hard move up like that, and then I catch it as close to the top as I can, catch the volcano, if you will, and then try to write it down. Cool Cat says, to the BTC shorts, pour one out for my homies. Definitely. That was brutal. So, but that's what it does. And that's what I said happens this morning. And, let's see here. What did I do? Let's get back my long short box. Give me 1 second. Okay, good. So that's that. So the trade's going beautifully. You can see that I kind of predicted the movement. Look, I'm going to throw up the QR code. We have a great program. We cost $49.99 a month. Okay. And as the world has progressed into, wars, pandemics, things like that, we're finding that a lot of people are losing their jobs, losing their businesses. You can't get fired from trading. Now, it does take some time to learn how to do it, but once you have this down, you don't have to quit your job. You can learn this on a few hours a week. It takes longer to learn that way, but priced at $49.99, it is so worth it, right? In fact, services very similar to ours are charging, say, like $300 a month. So we're extremely discounted. That is not going to last. We're probably going to be raising the price pretty soon, at least double that. I don't know if we're ever going to charge $300 a month. We try to keep this affordable for people because, it's not 2018. We don't have a bunch of crypto millionaires like we used to. It's not 2021. This kind of scenario. So at least for now, we'll keep the price pretty low. Obviously we trade crypto. I don't trade it as often as I trade Forex, but as the bull market hits, then there's going to be a lot of crypto action, a lot of trades. So I'm going to go ahead and pop off of here. So please come join us, algofactory.tech, or zap that QR code that you see on the screen. And you all have a blessed and lovely day. Peace.